the only times that it really went down was often due to the weather or the hills or the atmosphere that we're in. We also did a graph throughout the 3 days. So this is like how it's starting. This is the beginning of day 1, end of day 3, and I don't know what. So
I think what
looks like a very
we
bad
really, the main theme of our findings is kind of how much things like the weather can affect you. Like you think, oh, I've got a waterproof jacket, I'll be fine, but it really does take a toll on your well-being. Like how much of a drag it actually feels is a lot of the time due to the weather, and that can, I think that's often overlooked.
And I think like even so we had a table where we wrote down the numbers and the reasons, and on day 3 we ended up just writing numbers more than reasons because it was pouring down so heavily.
Yeah.
We barely took any breaks. Like we only took breaks when we really needed them, because we just wanted to get through it, and the weather really pushed us to just keep going. And it also didn't, we just, at some points we lacked energy to even like do anything except from keep going and just to finish it. So I think weather really had, I think what we all found through this is that how much of an effect weather has on us as well, and our health. So I think this has really been helpful to understand also how things just link together. So how our team cooperates also depended on how tired we were and how under pressure we felt. So it was nice to see the link between the two. And our motivation, like what I've written here is our motivation varied widely, like, but I think it all had the same sort of pattern, that it was high to start and end with, but there were a few drops throughout the day which were often to do with either going up hills or the rain, because we didn't have the luckiest of weekends with the weather. We also noticed that music really helped us to keep going. I think it really motivated us, especially when we found music that we all enjoyed and we were able to unite over it and like bond over it. So it helped us to just work better as a team, and just again to keep going and to make it more enjoyable for us even when we weren't feeling our happiest. There were also points that we were playing games, and like verbal games, which also kept us motivated and just kept us going. So it was really interesting to watch how we came up with things that would let us feel happier and more motivated, to just keep going as a team.
Yeah, if I could just chip in a sec, like I think for me personally as well, like the best points were, I feel like when the motivation was highest and the kind of camaraderie felt the most was when we were spending time like actually as a group. It wasn't the fact that we'd found a nice view or something. It was like, as Sasha said, like the dancing or joking around, playing games. I think the camaraderie really helps when the going gets tough to kind of keep everyone together.
That's really really interesting stuff that you've found and sort of got evidence for. It's, sorry, you've probably got some. I probably should I leave my questions to the end?
Yeah, I think we've got a few more slides, don't we?
There's literally just this slide where we were just going to talk about personally. But you can do that as part of the questions, and then it was just a little video of Oakley with his favorite girlfriend.
We didn't cook that food.
Yeah, that's a load of bull.
Those are the kebabs, and as everyone knows, kebabs every time. KET, KET, kebabs every time.
KET.
So yeah, that was kind of our thing. And if any of Lucy, Adam, Oakley, if you want to mention how you felt personally throughout, like I personally feel like I enjoyed the trip. I think there were downs where I wasn't very motivated, but I think a lot of my emotions were slightly over dramatized. In general, I think it was a great trip where I think my mental well-being was only affected for the better, and being in the nature around people that were fun to be around, I think only did best for me. And I just think I felt happier after that weekend, except my legs were actually killing the next few days. But that's how I personally feel about it.
Yeah, I agree with what Sasha was saying. So my my motivation and everything was good. No, not all of it was high, but it was always good throughout, because it's something that obviously this year it's been a lot of sitting inside, not really doing anything. So it kind of puts it into perspective when you're doing this, and you can hang out with your friends and you can go outside and you can walk and all of this stuff. It makes it seem so much better now that we haven't had it for ages.
Adam, have you got anything?
Yeah, in nature, it's kind of peaceful, especially with friends, and it was just a good vibe, and I'm glad I got away from work and that.
Yeah, shall I go?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think what Lucy said really has an effect, like obviously because this year has been so like different to everything else, and like Adam said, it was really nice to get away from everything. I think I personally felt at my happiest when I was kind of performing for the group with a cow or a stick or whatever it may be, but just kind of, I think what a lot of people have really been lacking, which has had a massive effect on mental well-being, is that kind of communal sense of actually being with a group of people that you like and that you enjoy spending time with. And I think it was almost like a little secluded area away from everything else, because as Adam said, we were in nature, it was very peaceful. And yeah, I mean, I think the only time that I wasn't really getting on with the team was, like, as we said, when it was raining, was I need a new team.
Day 2, was it?
I think that was day 1 actually.
Day 1, yeah.
And then start of day 2, when nobody seemed to appreciate my weight slimming ideas or carrying the packs. But yeah, overall, it was fantastic just to get away from things. I think it's been really interesting to see actually how we've coped with the weather and different conditions and how much of an effect that has. But yeah, thank you for listening to our presentation. We've been KET. This has been wonderful. Make sure you come back for more KET. We'll be there doing our goals. So yeah, come back for more KET.
Yeah, I think that is probably the best presentation I've ever seen from anybody from a Duke of Edinburgh expedition. Very good the way you did that, and it was nice to see that the motivation and getting on with the team was high all the time, and the tiredness and then the pressure, well, tiredness went up a little bit once or twice, but being under pressure was very low all the time, which was good. And also you didn't feel under much pressure. But to see the way it set it all up and the way you displayed that, it's a pity you couldn't do that for the whole of the unit and 1 or 2 more people from the district.
Yes.
Yeah, very well. The only snag is, of course, you didn't do any camping, but
Yes.
and you coped with that extremely wet weather on the last day. That was a Saturday, wasn't it? Very well. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. That was a very, very, very good presentation. I loved it. You got in the slides, you got in text, you got in video, you got in all the graphs, you analysed the graphs. That was fantastic. Really good standard. So
I think all credit for the presentation should really go
Yeah,
to
Sasha.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of credit goes to Sasha. Completely well done. But I love how you presented it. Everybody took a turn in presenting it. You'd sorted out who was going to present. Great presentation too. Really good. So I have some questions. What
Are any of them related to Autumnal Man?
Sadly, no.
Could you make some related?
I could. But firstly, what else do you wish you'd recorded? Did you wish that you'd recorded anything else when you came to analyse it, or were you happy with what you recorded?
I kind of feel that I was personally happy with what we recorded. I feel like some of it wasn't specific enough. So like how under pressure do you feel, how stressed? It was due to interpretation in certain things. So I mean, I wish we could have changed some of the questions slightly. Like for example, even I wish we even recorded things like the weather or the temperature at that sort of moment, or the amplitude, or like where we were,
The
location wise.
steepness.
So it was those are the things that I wish we did record as well, to put more evidence into why we did things. But I think overall we kind of our own comments kind of supported what we did well, and I think we recorded enough to show a trend in how things are moving along.
Great. Okay.
I think also Lucy certainly tried to record you tried to record how far we were doing, which would have done the incline and that as well. But I think it was your phone died.
Yeah, it kept
I forgot
cutting
to
out.
start it on the second day. So altogether, a failure of technology and.
Yeah. There's probably on something like Strava, or you can actually record on OS maps and so on, and that would have recorded the incline of things that you were going up. But what you did record was superb. So I have another question. How would you do things differently if you had an opportunity to record mental health in an expedition again? Is that, if anything?
Does anyone want to? Adam, Lucy, do you want
to? Should I do it?
Either of you, if you have anything to say, just.
I think if we're going to do anything differently, we'd definitely record temperature and all of that, as we said.
Maybe that was sort of to the last question. Maybe with what you've learned, would you do anything differently on actually perhaps forgetting recording it just in your next expedition without recording anything? Would you do your expedition a different way because you understand the effect of some of the mental health and so on?
Check the weather.
Only go hiking on a sunny day.
Yeah. I think also I think we all learn from little mistakes. Like I didn't get enough sleep, for example, and that's why I would have been moody at the beginning in the morning, and why my motivation wasn't so high in the mornings. So it's learning from little mistakes that affect my mood, for example, like not getting enough sleep, or just overstressing myself about something little, like not even stressing, like just overthinking about something, like it's not that difficult, over analyzing certain things. So I think those things that I could change personally in the way I approach situations while we are hiking would change my mood, motivation, and the way I get on with my team dramatically if we did it again, hopefully in gold.
Nice. I got I guess maybe this question is very similar. Just what did you learn as a result? Did you learn anything as a result? I guess that's a very similar question of what you would do differently.
I'd say humor's very important. Like Sasha was always making me laugh. Like kept me going. Like just like knowing that everyone was kind of in it together. I think that was very important.
And also just how much the music actually changed everyone's
God,
mood.
yeah.
It made it so much better. Like when we all found some songs that we all knew, it actually increased morale so much.
In quite
So
a
maybe create a
way.
playlist of the songs that we all love before we go next time.
I find that very funny, mainly because I know how much Jeff hates having music when he goes out hiking. So
I sometimes sing though.
Say again, Jeff.
I said I sometimes sing though if I'm out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but,
Yeah, so if Oakley
that's-
starts singing, that's not going to improve anyone's morale.
I think in quite a British humour of enjoying other people's suffering.
So I think
my motivation go up.
awesome.
First time that I saw Lucy fall, perfection.
That's nasty.
So possibly we can all learn something from this, including the leaders, about how music can affect our morale. But I think what we would have to ensure if we were to raise Jeff's morale, that it was songs that he liked. I think morale is only raised by the songs that you like. So yeah, very interesting, very, very interesting.
To answer the question that no one asked, Alan Autumn was just a regular man until he was struck by a radioactive conker into Autumnal Man. With the power to stop old age pensioners from slipping on black ice as they cross the roads, Autumnal Man and his stick of autumnalness will be there whenever there is a slightly doddery old woman crossing the road.
Also, sorry, I just wanted to say as well, the different, like, since our practice expedition, I just thought we all worked so much better in the real thing than the practice. And I just think that we, even though it was colder and rainier and muddier and hillier and everything basically, I felt like we still enjoyed it more. Like, I've made so many memories from this. Like, just Oakley in general, just talking absolute nonsense the whole time and making us all laugh, and Lucy with her obsession with animals, and Adam's stories about everything. Like, I just thought we just really bonded over this time, to be fair.
That's great. Andrew, have you got anything?
I'd like to point out to the recording that it did not start out as a fascination for Jess Willis the cow. I tried to pet every cow. I did not discriminate. But a cow originally named Bess the cow, she stuck there for me and gave her a little pet, and we were talking, and then I decided Bess was a silly name, but Bess sounded like Jess, and then she, a Jess, Jess Willis. But then because I was so desperately in love, I didn't want to make it sound like I was desperately in love with Jess Willis, so I had to make the definition clear that it was Jess Willis the cow. When it turned out that I'd led us entirely in the wrong direction, and we had to go back.
When in whole,
Jess Willis the cow was still there for me, and we had quite a romantic reunion.
So I'll just play it again for you.
Yeah, Jess Willis the human, not amused.
she gave him a little kiss as well.
Yeah, the specification. Okay, I was jumping to completely the wrong conclusions, obviously.
Well, that's why we added the cow at the end.
That is an important thing. Yeah, and thanks you all for this presentation. It is really slick. It's very good. It's obviously a sort of great effort for the team. And actually what comes out of this tonight, you guys all presenting it together, is exactly what came out of it. Every time that we crossed paths with you over on the 2 days that I was there, it's just, you got on really well as a team, and there was always this kind of sort of good feeling of camaraderie, and it was always a pleasure to kind of see you on the course, braving through whatever the weather and the slopes were throwing at you. So well done on getting this together and producing such a good presentation, and well done on a great expedition, and on making
que
me
je
really
sache,
hungry with
ils
those
sont
photos. Vas-y, qu'est-ce que tu dis, Oakley? Répète.
Autant que je sache, ils sont-tu les flux?
Donc, bah oui, très bien, parfait. Mais maintenant,
Merci, merci.
What did he say?
Subjunctive, subjunctive.
Yes, very impressive. You'll do well at your A level.
Well, thank you all.
Is that it? Yeah.
I'm already looking forward to your gold expedition. So obviously, I think you've all got it, that we've found you a nice 4-berth yacht, and we've got a lot of training to do, because you're going to be sailing from port to port down the coast. So in the sea, obviously, you're going to need to do some good training.
And hopefully it's not going to rain as badly.
This time there's no, oh, it's okay, we can take this path and we'll be back on track. We are 5 kilometers from Norway.
You don't have to carry your rucksacks.
That is true.
So let's hope your navigation is better than putting you in Norway.
If you're not carrying your rucksack,
I mean, it could be worse. We could somehow make it to Ireland.
Okay.
Great stuff.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Right, thanks everyone.
Yes.
Well done, team.
See you later. Go team!
Go team.
Team.
Cat! See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.